was constantly this kind of.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's about some of the only two arts that I've seen that do a lot of this towing out. And now this is a crucial part of how I move.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So something like with a straight on, and then all you have to do is pivot
on the
on anything.
oh, so well, even here, for example, distance. But if I do this, I just got closer, right? Just got closer. So any of this type, plus getting off the line. So just by shifting, now I'm off that line. So this is a great way. Plus now when I shift again, I got behind his arm, and now it's right here. So this towing out, whether it be from just this position or starting to move. So don't just think of it as just changing direction. It's changing the whole body. So, you know, if I want to do something here, of course, as soon as I do this, the range of motion that I have, especially for locking and whatnot, because if I just come here, I don't really have a whole lot, but as soon as I do this, you know, even more when I start to do this. So the towing out is real crucial. When you guys think about this, even here I'm towing out that way, which now, if you want, you can think of just moving behind. So now here's two toe outs. So I start this way, and I'm over here. Even if that other hand comes up to cover, I'm already where?
Behind you.
I'm over here just because I changed direction again. You see what I mean? So you're just thinking 1, 2, this type. As for hands, whatever, right? So we're in this kind of position. So the first movement, I start towing out. And of course this is already here, because this is giving this, or it's dealing with what? With this. So here, now, as you start to tow again, see what my feet and hand do. So when I'm here, 1, 2,
Right.
and now I'm behind him.
Right.
So it's nice because I don't have to do a lot. It really just looks like that. It's that simple. If you shave off all this excess, and I know we're all guilty in the beginning making these giant big moves, and that's the way the forms are done initially, but they what?
Just go
So here, just think of kind of compressing this. I don't have to do a whole lot. Now I'm behind him. I'm ready to go. Okay. So just think of, and then as you do this, 1 just passes. Now you're where? You're behind him. If you need to step again, go ahead. You know what I mean? What's important is just to get behind him. So make it as small as possible, because it'll be what? Faster. See what I mean?
Okay, and we're doing it for touch, and then we can start getting an idea of what to do, how to lead into straight line, linear, or circular movements from what are called like random circles. Okay, and what we're going to do, we're going to take it and hit it in a slightly different way. This is Dien, this is for touch. Okay, but what if Jesse grabs on real hard? Okay, we want to be able to have a release because we're no longer just touching. So when you do this, now you can see joint locks starting to present themselves, finger locks, right? So Troy has a series of things in Japanese are called Hazushi. They're called releases or escapes. And we'll take a couple from the various kinds of wrist grabs that can be done, because they will relate eventually to something that you do here if you get grabbed. Now we have another level of that. Grab. Okay, we have another level of that with the taiji. But what we want to do, we want to just see how do we release and gain control. So from touch to movement, then from here, from getting very solid contact, release, and then you'll love the follow-up. And then at some point we can talk another time about the different things from taiji. So Troy, some Hazushi.
Well, before we do that, one last little comment on what we were just doing. So you guys were getting this position, and you're feeling his pressure. It's not enough just to collapse the elbow. Watch how there's a little bit of a,
Oh yeah, a
there's
coil
a circle.
there.
Even if I go in, there's a spiral going on. So it looks just linear, but there's a little rotation or spiral that was happening. Even here he thinks he's pushing, but not really. Okay. Even because of my position of my arm, but even here if I just, the same little,
Show them that. That's
you know. So when you're here, if you think of rolling on this, right away, I've got him out, and of course something presented itself. See what I mean? Even if I think about this type of action. So if you're running into their power, like if he's here, it's probably because you're still trying to go straight in instead of going around his power, right? Yeah, even though that hand's coming, where am I? Or the elbow was already there as a cover and a hit. And of course my hand's already touching. What I mean? So when you start to have, and this is going to go on with the Hazushis because everything's a little coiled. So when you guys are doing these are what? Like these little teacup exercises. And see, this, and of course making these little small coils. And of course it's not just in the arm, it's in the body, right? And of course these are the drills that Paul, you guys are doing, right? It's the same little coils. So if you've got that, this will be easy. So what we're going to do is we're going to do various grabs on top, underneath, cross, same, both. I really don't care. So we'll start with a couple. So we end up here. So I can think of coiling this way, but I can also think of coiling this way, right? I can also just simply press down. So what we're going to do is same as I just did the elbow, right? So what I want you to think about is start to coil out. So when this starts to happen, I've already got this kind of position. And what's nice is I can fold, or I can go right to the wrist. Of course now I'm right here. See what I mean? And now I'm on him this way. So what don't you think of starting now? We're going to play with this hand too, because when he goes to punch, I'm going to use this idea. He starts to try to come in, right? So it's all of this. So as you, first time, I want you to try this by itself. Then we're going to add that, because this is now, because I would have to, as I'm coiling, I would have to cover this. So, but I'm going to think of moving this way. So a couple times without the punch, just so you can get this focus. Hold tight, be the man. You can push, pull. I really don't care. So what you want to think about is the more you coil out, and then there's a little flip of the wrist. So this is what creates the, now I don't want to go right to that because now I haven't done anything to him. So I want to keep him until I'm ready to what?
Change.
Yeah. Okay. So right here, you want to think about just coming in. Got a Nikyo, he turns it over, I have a finger lock. But go ahead and think of grabbing. You can come under this way. You can tap that one, draw, and then.
I think you got him, Jess.
You got him now, Jess.
But just start with this idea of moving here. Okay, he goes to move in. Boom.
So this is
So you want to think of this outside coil. So if we were doing the drill, it's this. So if I'm like coming here, so think of now, here it is. Instead of putting my hand back here, I just keep coiling. Right. Okay, so now I have that shoulder lock, or he tries to drop his elbow, I have a finger lock into an arm bar. Right? Bring him in and hit. So I just want to think of coming in here, and then I'm on him this way. Constantly changing, moving.
Yeah, after all that jelly, you just gotta hit him.
I like to hit people, but I also enjoy joint violence. So now, right, hit that kidney. So constantly, thumb in the eye, thumb on the ear. Make him smell an armpit. That's bad enough, right?
Nice.
that's why he's got that roll on garlic.
That's right. So if you want to just try, and then in a moment we'll bring the punch into play, because that changes, you know, you have to have your mind in two places. Really ought to be everywhere, right? But if you can think of this type of movement, right? So just think of snake. Yeah, and that's exactly
Here, and then you come back.
kind of this type of action.